Hello, in today's video, you will see how you can build your own self-service infrastructure on Brainboard. And for today's use case, we're going to work on the Azure Data Landing Zone that you can see here with the design and the Terraform code. So to understand how you can use it and why you should use it, then we can go to the Readme here. You have the description, the architecture components, the requirements, how to use the architecture, and who are the maintainers. If we look deeper on the architecture, you see, for example, here that you have data platform ops, and you see platform ops as well. Now you see, for example, that you have the cloud scale analytics data management landing zone here. You have the connectivity subscription, and here you also have 6 resource groups that we have created. For example, you have the resource group service layer, the resource group governance, for example here, the container, the resource group monitoring, and the resource group network. Here, as a quick reminder, everything that you do on the design will be automatically reflected on your Terraform code. For example, if I select one resource, for example, the service plan, you can see the Terraform code here with the tags, the SKU name, the resource group name, the OS type, the name, and the location. If you want to look at how we configure it, when you open the ID account, you have the required parameter, the advanced configuration, the extra attributes with the meta arguments of Terraform with the count, the depends on, and the for each. Now, for example, let's say that you would like to create multiple Terraform files and group per resources. So here, for example, we'll do the use case with the service layer. I simply need to select these resources. Here, you can see that it has been selected in my Terraform code as well. And then here, I create a new file, let's say rg service layer, and then I save. And here, as you can see, you have the main.tf, you have the rg service layer here with all the resources that I've chosen. You also have, for example, the output here. So the output you can have and find them here. The providers. So if you want to configure your own provider, then here you want to customize it. So here you can find it as well. So here you close it. Then you have the Terraform tvars, the variables. So here are the variables that we have created here. So on Brainboard, you can create variables either at the organization level, project, environment, or architectures. To create, for example, a variable, for example, the location, you have the name, the architecture, so for the scope, the type, here is a string, and then you add value default, and you can add the description and flag the value of the variable as sensitive. Now that we have done all of that you actually understand how you can use this infrastructure, we will go to the deployment tab here. So the first thing that we need to do is to set up here your cloud credentials. For example, for today's use case, we are working on Azure. So to set up your credentials, so I went here, cloud providers. Then here I can say what is the name of the credentials, what is the ARM subscription ID, ARM client ID, ARM tenant ID, and ARM client secret, and then you can create and set up your own credentials. Here, for example, you can also use Azure DevOps, Bitbucket, or GitLab. You can also use GitHub, of course. Then now we can go back to the deployment tab here. We are going to design our own CI/CD. So here we add a task. We are going to do here Terraform validate first. Here we will give it a name, Terraform template. Then here we add Terraform plan, we give it a name. As a quick reminder, you are also able to provision your infrastructure directly from Brainboard by using the Terraform apply command. Here, for example, we would like to look at the cost. So here will be cost estimation. We have the API key. Here we can do a breakdown, or if we will do a breakdown. And here we can close it. Now, for example, we can send an email FinOps here to Marcel. So here, brainboard.co. Here, please check the budget of this. Here, I could have chosen, for example, Marcela or Shafiq or another team member that I have. Here, they will receive the email. Now, for example, I can use TFSec for security check. And then here, for example, I can say security team. Here is security at brainboard.co. And here, please check the security requirement of this infrastructure. Here we can close it. So now, as you can see, we have designed our own workflow. So here we can give it a name. So here, Terraform command here, infra and tfsec. Here, as a quick reminder as well, of course, you can invite your team members to join the organization by specifying their email address, their roles, like that they can go to Brainboard and check, for example, the security and the cost requirements. Now that you have designed the infrastructure, then you can save the workflow. And then now you can run the pipeline. So here, as you can see, you have the status of each task. For example, here it's running. Then now here it's succeeded. You have the configuration is valid as an output. Then here you will have the Terraform plan. So here it's running. For example, for infra cost, you see that this task is scheduled as well as the other task. So here we have the output of the plan with 29 resources to add, 0 to change, 0 to destroy. Now, as you can see, infra cost is actually running. So here we will also have the cost estimation. So here, for example, the overall total cost is 144.75. You have the name of the resource, the monthly quantity you need, and the monthly cost. Now, for example, here, they have received an email. The security check has been done, no problem detected. And then the security team has been alerted as well. So they have received an email. Here, as you can see, you have the status, the ID, the pipeline, who is the initiator, and the date. Now, for example, I can convert this workflow into a template. Here you can add the description that you want, and then you clone the workflow. As you can see, I've converted it into a template. Now we can go back to the design here. Then now we are going to convert here this infrastructure into a template. So here, public. Here I will have the name community. And then I publish the architecture. Now, for example, let's say that another team member would like to use it. You can go to, for example, the staging environment. You open the environment. You go to template. These are all the templates that we have created that you can use. So here I will look for the templates that I've just created. Here, if I want to use it, I can clone the template into a new architecture. So here I have my design and my Terraform code with all the files that you saw here. Then now let's say that I would like to go and use one of the templates for the CI/CD. So here, these are all the templates that we have created. Here, for example, I can either use the template that I've created here, or I can use, for example, another one like this one. Yes. And here, as you can see, we have the plan, the infra cost, checkoff, TFSec, Terrascan, the OPA, and the webhook here. We can also notify our team by Slack. We can send them an email. Then we can also apply an approval. Here we can provision our infrastructure, and then we can use Slack as well here. Also, if you want to use, for example, modules, then here you can import all your modules either from the registry, from Git. You can also import your private modules, or from files. Once you have imported them, then you will be able to build your own module catalog. And here, other team member will be able to use them. For example, here, if I use the Azure LG, I can edit the module. Here, latest, meaning that every time I modify the module, Brainbow will understand it and modify it. So here is good. If I want to use it, I simply need to pin it, and I can use it here. And then I can configure this module. So I hope this video has been useful for you, and if you have any question about it, I will be happy to help you build your own use case on Brainboard. Have a great day.